Q2 has been a pretty busy quarter for us. We have done multiple road trips to many countries from US, Israel, as well as many European ones like UK, Spain, France, Germany, and so on. We actually met over 100 publishers during those road trips and learned what is going on within those local markets, what they are going through, and so on. Beyond that, of course, the product development has been kicking on all kind of sides. We are expanding the product further and further, making major changes to improving results and so on even further. So the biggest challenge we heard from all of these publishers we spoke to is, of course, the recent economic changes within the market overall. The amount of ad spend that is no longer available to these publishers. So everyone basically making a lot less than they used to make, many being in very difficult situations, pretty much no one hitting any kind of targets, especially the direct IO business being affected a lot for most publishers, but of course also at the same time the programmatic part. So with the market conditions and the ad spend being pulled out, of course everyone is sitting in the same boat, because this ad spend is not just going away for some players on the market. It's like the total pot, there's just less revenue going into this industry pretty much. And until the economy recovers and advertisers start to spend more again, it's unlikely to improve a lot, because there's just not more money going around and everyone has to basically work with less. However, at the same time, there are things we can do on the publisher side where we can improve what the advertisers are looking for, which results in the end in their KPIs improving, our domains becoming more interesting for them, and them spending more on our inventory. So a lot of these publishers are super careful. They are on very, very tight budgets in cost reduction mode, and trying to find solutions and any other kind of ways to increase revenue without going into any risks otherwise. So all of the meetings we had with Assertive Yield publishers, as always, we're always getting very positive feedback about the product and so on. The really nice part is that over the last year we have rolled out Yield Manager, which is basically our monetization engine that is adding machine learning on top of pre-bid Amazon and other tools on the banner and display side, and having produced significant uplift for most of them, especially the ones that already had sophisticated setups. This machine layer on top of it producing another 20-25% uplift for them, which not only for us was unexpected, but for them of course as well. So overall, very positive. So the thing that really makes Assertive Yield stand out in this regard is that we are unifying a lot of expensive Adtech tools into one at way lower cost. So there's a huge cost reduction that is possible for many publishers. And at the same time, having one tool that can now be used by pretty much all departments that in any kind of way touch the advertising part of the business. So it's no longer that different departments use different kind of data and then have to combine it and otherwise, or different systems for different tasks. It's all combined within one system. So on the product side, we have been heavily developing in multiple directions. On one side, we have already been expanding by directly connecting to all the different SSPs and the APIs to automatically match the data, report on discrepancies, and provide financial reporting down to the placement level. Furthermore, we are running multiple experiments in different directions. One, for example, in automatically optimizing the layouts themselves. Not only looking at the revenue we are generating, but actually working towards improving the user engagement itself, so that we are, through the user engagement, at the same time improving loyalty as well as revenue long term. The other part, which is pretty much like our biggest project overall, and the one we are really basically focused on, is bringing mediation into basically our advertising engine. So it's already possible to mediate between different advertising formats under different conditions and so on, but we are heavily working on letting machine learning take over that part. Think about, for example, on this specific article, should we go with a click-to-play video player or should we go with an autoplay video player? It depends on how likely is it that the user will click on the video and how much demand is right now available behind click-to-play. Is there currently a direct campaign running at high CPMs that will completely outperform the autoplay? Or will autoplay perform better because barely anyone will actually click and listen to that video? In other regards, there is a lot of campaigns coming in on the CPM side, especially with a full-blown header bidding stack. But then there are also cases where actually certain people are more likely to click on advertisements be it in the affiliate space or otherwise, where we can make more revenue through those CPC campaigns if the CPM-based ones are at limit at the moment. So switching between the different models of CPM-based to CPC-based in regards to what will produce higher revenue numbers, not only for the specific page view, but long-term for that user.